Good evening, everybody. Julie here, and welcome to my channel. Tonight's video is on the Presidents of the United States of America. This is a book that I got at Ollie's, written by Jody Shepard, and it just gives an outline of the presidents. Thank you for bearing with me. I had to take a few days off. Just needed a break. So thank you for being patient. And yes, I'm back. We had left off with FDR, and we're moving on to Harry S. Truman. So, to those of you who are new here, I did this because I like history and I like learning. And we know a lot of their names, but we don't know a lot about them. So, I thought it was good to do a little dive. And this is just an outline. These videos only take about 7 minutes at the most. Some of them are way less than that. So, just bear with me. This one's actually going to be one of the longer ones because this president had a lot going on. So, without further ado, let's get started with the 33rd President of the United States, Harry S. Truman. Presidential facts. He was born May 8, 1884 in Missouri. He served 2 terms, 1945 to 1953. His vice president was Alben Barkley for his second term. He didn't have one for his first because FDR died before the end of his term. And then Harry S. Truman died in 1972. When he ran for election in 1948, newspapers were sure he was going to lose. One even printed the headline before all the votes were counted: Dewey defeats Truman. Whoops. Did you know Truman loved to play the piano? He said that if he had been a good enough pianist, he never would have been president. Harry S. Truman took office after Roosevelt's death in April of 1945. By then, Germany and Italy had already surrendered to the United States and the other allies, but Japan was still fighting. In August 1945, Truman made the difficult decision to drop atomic bombs on 2 cities in Japan. Japan surrendered soon after, and World War II ended. Once the fighting was over, Truman turned to the other things. He supported the United Nations as well as the creation of Israel. He helped rebuild countries that had been damaged in war. Unfortunately, a new war started in Korea. Truman was known to speak his mind plainly. As time has passed, more and more people think he was one of the best U.S. presidents. Now, this is what Harry S. Truman looks like. Got the piano there and got the false newspaper thing. And that's why we shouldn't tend to listen to all the polls that they have, because they are not always correct. Now, different piece of paper, because I did this at work, and I was going to do this, and I was all excited. I'd come home. I was tired, and I was like, listen, I've already got my research done, and I lost it at work, and then I found it the other day, and I said, and I had taken a couple days off, and I was like, okay, now I can go back and do this because I found it. So, Harry S. Truman, the last president without a college degree. The S in his name didn't mean anything. It was to honor both of his grandparents. He opened a bowling alley in the White House. He was a piano player, as they said there. He left as one of the most unpopular presidents. One of the reasons was the Korean War. Now, later on, as you know in the book, later on, many years later, they consider him now one of the best presidents. But at the time, a lot of people were mad about the Korean War, and that's why. His most famous quote was, "The buck stops here." I know y'all have heard that. A lot of y'all have heard that before. It was on a sign on his desk. He believed that as a president, he was ultimately responsible for the decisions and actions of his administration made. He had made the decision to drop the atomic bomb on Japan. We already talked about this. This caused the immediate death of more than 70,000 people. He was a loyal but honest party man. He belonged to over 218 organizations. He was the sort of politician that went around kissing babies, shaking hands, smiling when he had to, and sticking a knife in the back if he had to. Churchill said he helped save the Western civilization. He married Bess Wallace on June 28, 1919. He and Bess moved back to Independence, Missouri after his presidency. He was a very, very good president. I want to say, I, I know I read a book about him, but I think there was a movie that was about him. Um, he really, helped with the end of the Civil War, or not the Civil War, gosh, World War II. Well, I'm in the wrong war. But then about comes the Korean War, and you'll see that a lot of that wars are money making makers for some people. And a lot of big influential people want wars because it's a money maker for them. A lot of people don't like wars. JFK didn't want a war. He ended up dead. Just saying. So, but we'll get to him in a little bit. But I hope that you enjoyed the video. I'm glad to be back. I missed doing that. I really, really enjoy doing these little videos on history. But I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things that help get the channel out there. And don't forget to tune into the other videos. Everything's in playlist now, real easy to get to. And we are reading the Bible in a year in chronological order with the Bible recap as our guide. Just go to our Bible recap section to follow along, playlist to follow along. But thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.